Neonic Void Productions presents.
Hello! Freaking start talking like Victor from freaking Yuri on Ice. Rip
God.
Yuri on Ice. Rip. Anyway. Hello, and welcome to Spookocalypse, where usually we talk all things spooky. My name is Housekeeper. I'm joined by my other two hosts. We have the flaming bisexual Zia.
Oh my god.
And we have the wonderful, very oh my god, like everybody is attracted to his voice. We have Bunyip.
Oh, hi.
Hello.
I mean, you are right. You are correct. There are
He does.
straight men. The straight men in the D&D group say it.
Yeah. I mean,
When they're talking behind my back, and it's like,
No, James,
stupid
not
him,
James.
talking about his sexy deep voice. Hi, welcome back, like that.
Dakota and James have both said that to you.
Yeah, straight to you. Like, well, not straight to your face, but you know,
Like when we were in the call. No, they said
they're
it.
like, damn, your voice is attractive, and I'm like, I know, it's great.
The only downside is I get a coughing fit every so often, which I have right now, which is why I had to go away for a little bit to get some Zyrtec and Mucinex to just help.
I'm sorry. You've been dealing with that a lot.
Yeah.
I think it's just postnasal drip and pollen allergies.
Yuck.
Ain't
All because our government was too lazy to plant female trees, so they planted all male trees. So we're literally just breathing in plant sperm.
That's a weird way to look at it.
I
The
mean,
accurate way.
It's true though. They're like, female plants are too hard to maintain, so we're just gonna plant a shit ton of male plants instead.
I thought it was gonna be more like, they all look the same, just plant them. And it's like, but
No.
what about ecosystems? Like, nah, just make them all male.
No, they were just lazy. They didn't want to maintain the plants, so they planted the
Damn.
easiest ones. Anyway, before we get to what my Roman Empire is, I'm going to be doing some housekeeping. So if you like this podcast, make sure you follow and rate us on whatever site you listen to your podcast. Share with your friends. Speaking of, I was talking to someone. They went on Apple, and I couldn't find the podcast on Apple.
On Apple?
Yeah. Anyway,
Like
share.
iTunes?
Yeah, like on iTunes.
Oh,
Like on the iTunes podcast, it's like not on there.
well, that sucks.
Yeah, and it's supposed to be.
I'm gonna look into that right now.
Yeah, I meant to tell you, but I just remembered now as I was doing housekeeping. I'm sorry about that.
No, you're fine.
New episodes are going to be uploaded every Saturday unless the technical difficulties happen, and then you know what? It'll be uploaded the next day, probably. Links are down in the description for other podcasts that are part of the Neonic family. Follow us on Twitter. Our handle is at Spookocalypse. That is at SPOOKOCALYPSE. We are also on YouTube. If you're from YouTube, hi, hello, welcome. Make sure you drop a like, look down at that little button underneath the video and watch it light up as I say subscribe. Tickle, punch, slap, take it out to dinner, you show it a good time. Whatever you want to do with that bell, just interact with it. It gives you notifications. I don't know, man. I don't know what to tell you because I looked it up on their phone and it wasn't there.
It's there on Apple Podcast.
I don't know. I looked it up because like he was just like, oh, you do a podcast? Let's listen to it. And I was all like, okay. And then like I typed it in and it wasn't there. So I was like, oh, well, here's Spotify. So, yeah, anyway, drop a like on that comment though. Comment on what your favorite part of the episode was. Shout out to ATEEZ because this episode's going out to them. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot of ATEEZ here. Because today we are going to be talking about my Roman Empire. Now, one of my Roman empires, I think about a lot. It's consumed me, to the point where I have spent way more money than I care to admit. And that's K-pop. I love K-pop. It's one of the few things that do bring me a lot of joy. And today, I'm specifically going to be talking about ATEEZ. Um, ATEEZ is one of my top three favorite groups. And the reason why I'm choosing this group in particular is because the lore that this group has in their music videos, on their stages, in their albums. Because right now, as I'm talking, I don't know when this is going to be recorded, but like right now, as I'm talking, their latest album, which is I think the K Hot Chili Peppers one, whenever you get the album, like there's like an opening that has like like part of the storyline in the album, instead of it just being a photo book with all like the concept photos and like the lyrics and stuff like that. Like there's like a couple of pages of just like the story that they have created with the music videos. I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed with this group. I love this group so fucking much. So, we're gonna start off with a little bit of just facts. Little general facts about ATEEZ. ATEEZ is an 8-member group from South Korea under the entertainment company called KQ. They debuted in October 24th, 2018, and they are part of fourth generation K-pop. To Just to put a little bit of into perspective for people who are new to K-pop, and stuff like that, like BTS would be considered third generation. Big Bang would be considered second generation. And like Zero Base One, which is one of the newer ones, they would be considered fifth generation. So, their pre-debut name for ATEEZ was known as KQ Fellas, and they became A Teenager Z, or ATEEZ, or it's also like A to the Z, for their debut. The fandom is named ATEEZ, which is a combination of ATEEZ and Destiny, and ATEEZ was named November 17th of 2018. Which makes the number 1117 very important to both the members and the fandom itself, because it's technically what's known as the fandom birthday. So they celebrate the group birthday, which would be October 24th. They celebrate the fandom's birthday, which would be November 17th. And then usually they also celebrate the individual members' birthdays. And instead of it being like, oh, well, like, happy birthday, Hongjung, it would be like, happy Hongjung Day. Like, this is a day, like, this is his day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
AT's chant is 8 makes one team. It has a deep meaning. Uh, it's like they feel their best whenever they are together. So whenever like groups introduce themselves, they always have like a little chant. Like Monster X would be like, "Who Monster X? We like thank you, like we are Monster X," in Korean, obviously, and but they go 8 makes one team. We are ATEEZ. Nice to meet you. Obviously, it's translated. They say it in Korean. Do not ask me to speak it. I am not very fluent in it. I will butcher it, and I apologize. Um, their producing team is Edenary, and the choreography team is BB Trippin. The Korean Culture and Information Service named them as their 2020 promotional ambassadors to promote Korea around the world. They're the first fourth gen group to be invited to the Grammy Museum. Um, they are a K-pop group with the most wins ever on Immortal Songs. Immortal Songs is a competition. I think actually, gosh, I don't want to like say this and then be factual, but I believe that Immortal Songs was actually um inspired by ATEEZ. ATEEZ is one of the few groups that they like their mics are on. They're not lip singing. Their mics are on. And so Immortal Songs is literally like you don't have a backtrack. You literally only have like the background music and it's just your raw voice. And they have the most wins on Immortal Songs. If not, then I'm lying and there's another competition that is inspired by ATEEZ. Can't remember exactly which one. They are the first fourth gen group and third K-pop group in history to reach number 2 on the UK official albums chart for Crazy Form, which was their last comeback. Comeback, just for reference, is whenever their new album drops. So there's the debut, which is whenever they first came out with their first album, and then every album after that is a comeback. They were in the BB 200 #1 for Crazy Form. They are the first fourth gen boy group to win a triple crown on a public music show, which is Music Bank. Music Bank is one of the music shows that they do in Korea. There's also like Ingekyo and other ones that they perform at during their comebacks to promote their albums. And the more successful the album is, the more that they can promote this as the album. And they are I'm sorry, I'm so proud of them for this because it was just recent. They are the first ever K-pop boy group to perform at Coachella. They are the first ever K-pop group to perform boy group to perform at Coachella, which I
Yeah.
am both nights, like both weekends that they performed, fantastic. It was great. I wish I could be there. I love all the 18 that actually went, and dude, like they fucking fought to get at the front line. I saw videos. These people were like booking it. Even though like security guards like, no, stop it, get back. They were like, oh, okay, and then just booked it. They just fucking ran and they camped there. They camped at barricade all day, all day. Watched all these other performers, but they camped at barricade all fucking day for ATEEZ. And y'all, I give you props because like I love them. I would not be standing in the middle of the desert for that fucking long. Like I can't. I love them. I love them, and plus I didn't have the money for it. I didn't. But I did watch both nights on YouTube whenever they aired it. And hey Coachella, can you upload those videos, please? You've uploaded every single other freaking performer except for ATEEZ, and we're waiting. Like it's kind of rude at this point. Like they got a lot of noise. The fact that you could hear them on from other stages at this music festival and y'all still haven't posted their videos, it's rude. It's rude. Anyway, we're going to go on to the members. Hongjoong. Hongjoong, or Kim Hongjoong, stage name is Hongjoong, is the leader of ATEEZ, is also the lead rapper of ATEEZ. His birthday is November 7th. He writes all of his own raps, and you know whenever he's about to go on in the songs because he has a little giggle that he does to introduce his rappings. He produces several of ATEEZ's songs, from Aurora to Sunrise to Celebrate, Rocky, Mats. There's so many. There's so many songs that he has produced himself, and I believe Celebrate was written for another one of his members, Sungwa. He is on the production team for Zykers. Zykers is like the group that's under them. So Zykers was KQ, what was it? KQ Fellas 2. They actually did their previous world tour with ATEEZ. They were the opening act. They did like 2 or 3 songs, and they were great. Hong Joon took up the reins to become the production team for the first 2 EPs, producing credits on all of their songs. He is the very first ever KQ trainee. Whenever he signed for KQ, I believe there was like maybe 5 employees. There were 5 employees. This, like I'm saying, this is a like whenever they say Nugu Group, like Nugu Company, this is a Nugu Company. Like they had no money, and he was the very very first one to sign up. He is part of the Matt's line with Sungwa, so it's him and Sungwa. He has an older brother who choreographed his solo for Mama in 2021, and Mama is a award show that they do. It's a big like music award show in Korea. He is a very strong advocate for social justice issues, and basically led ATEEZ to become ambassadors for the Polished Male campaign, which brings awareness to the violence against children. He's a huge fan of fashion. He designs his own clothes, and he loves fashion so much that he became um, an ambassador for Balmain, and was personally invited to Paris Fashion Week. And he was also the host of a show called Idol Radio, with a following member named Yoon Ho. There's a few other things that I know about him. His favorite flowers are marigolds. He actually has a pair of earrings that he wears very often that are marigolds. He has designed and gifted all 8 members matching team rings. They are all like individual to them, and they all wore them except for Woo-young, which it's funny because they gave him shit for it. All of them wore them on like debuted with them on the Coachella stage. So like their Coachella debut, they all wore these rings. The next member is Sungwa. Park Sungwa, or better known as the stage name as Sungwa, is actually the oldest member of ATEEZ. Now, if you know K-pop, usually the oldest member of the group is the leader. But you know, I love Sungwa. He is my bias. I love him a lot. He is my shining star, and I support him in everything he does. But you know, Hong Joon is a really, really great leader, and I think that they did a good job in picking Hong Joon as the leader. Sungwa's birthday is April 3rd. He is a vocalist and visual. He is the 5th member to sign up for ATEEZ. He is the other member of the Matt's line. He is known as the cleanest member. He is always constantly cleaning everything. He doesn't beat the rumors of how K-pop idols have their own private Twitter accounts, because he is well aware of the comments that happen on social media, and he will often talk about them on his lives. He's adapted his style based on recommendations. He's also like a lot of 18 call him Hua, and he himself has actually called himself Hua. He is the little things that know about him is that he loves Star Wars. He actually, I think, oh gosh, when was this? This was like right before their last tour. Um, he was named an official. Oh gosh, what are they called? The name escapes me at the moment. Star Wars, like named him like an official Jedi. Like,
Oh shit.
yeah, yeah, yep. Like,
Cool.
yeah, like imagine like you're that big of a fan, and then like they're like, oh yeah, no, you're a Jedi. Like you like the Force is strong with you. He loves Lego. A lot of his lives that I have personally watched has been of him like building Lego sets. Lego has sent him different types of sets, a lot of them being like the floral, like the botanical sets, and he just sits there and builds them while talking to Atini. And he really loves Animal Crossing. A lot of his other streams has been like him playing Animal Crossing and showing Atini like his different costumes in and showing his island around. The next member of ATEEZ is Yoonho, Jong Yoonho, or as everybody else knows him as Yoonho, is the main dancer. He is also a vocalist of ATEEZ. His birthday is March 23rd. He is the second member to sign up under KQ. And the story, like whenever Hong Joon says the story, like you see his like face light up so much. Like he was so excited whenever like Yoonho signed up. He is leader of what's known as the 99 line. If you ever hear this term, it's usually like, oh, these are the people. Like, if there's multiple people that, like, let's say, for example, this isn't true, but if me and Zio were both born in 1994, we would be known as the 94 line. So he is the leader of the 99 line. The other five members or I'm sorry, the other four members that were born in 1999 is Yoseng, San, Mingi, and Woo-young. He has known Mingi before joining KQ Entertainment. They attended a dance academy together. And man, every time I hear the story, I cry. I really do. He's very outgoing, very energetic. People who are first getting into like 18 who are first getting into ATEEZ will think that he is not the meme king of he is. He is. There was a video that came out where they were on some I can't remember what show it was, but they were on a variety show and they introduced themselves as like the as a hi, my name is something, my sana nana, and we are ATs, and like they were like did it and like they sang the song. It's a very popular like it was Yoonho's idea. And I was like, "What? I would never expect Yuno to be." Yeah, no, it was him. And the members call him Golden Retriever. He also made a song along with San and Jongho with Pentatonics. Pentatonics is a a cappella group. It's very popular a cappella group. And the song is called A Little Space. He was the co-host of Idol Radio along with Hong Joong of Idol Radio Season 3. The next member is Kang Yosang, or also known as Yosang. He is the lead dancer, he is a vocalist, and he is also a visual. People call him the princess of the group because he's just so pretty. Like he's so pretty. His birthday is June 15th. He is the sixth member to join ATEEZ. He is, again, one of the following members of the 99 line. He has a birthmark on his left eye, which is often covered with makeup, and Ice Cream Man is outside. He has a birthmark on the left of his eye, and he actually debuted it, I guess you would say, during one of the comebacks. Because and he said because 18 gave him the courage to show off his birthmark. And then the very next comeback he covered it up again and everybody was really sad because we were like, no, it's so pretty. And he's just like, nah, because unfortunately with a Korean beauty standards, like that's not viewed as beautiful. It's kind of the same with like Felix from Stray Kids and his freckles. Freckles aren't really seen as a big thing, beauty standard wise in Korea. So like but Felix shows off his freckles proudly. Um, Yoseng actually was going to debut with the group TXT. He was in Big Hit with Young, and they were going to debut with TXT as members of TXT before they left. He has been the MC for one of the music shows that's called The Show, and he had the longest like running out of any MC in the program. The next member is San, or Choi San. He is the lead vocalist. He is the lead dancer. Everybody, I feel so like he's voiced this before. Everybody gets into ATEEZ because of San. And he's said this himself. He goes, it's like, yeah, like people say that like I'm the one that caught their eye, but I'm not their bias. And bias is like favorite member, right? Like that's their number one favorite member. People call them stans too, but bias is the term that they use in K-pop. And like he's just like, yeah, like no one, like I'm the one who brings them in, but like they're not my bias. And I'm just all like, no, I love you, San. I love you. He is the fourth member to join ATEEZ. Oh, his birthday, did I say, is July 10th. He is another member of the 99 line. His dad owns a taekwondo studio. So like his dance style is rooted in the taekwondo that he studied. He used to write songs, but he stopped in order to focus on getting better at dance because whenever he started out as a trainee, he wasn't that like he needed help. He is known very much so for like literally putting like 2000% into his dancing and his facial expressions. Um, he is very very good friends with Young, and their friendship name is called Usan, or it's spelled Woo-san, but the way you pronounce his name is Oo. Like you don't say the W, just saying that out loud. Which and they have a motto, which is Amicus ad eras, which means friend until the very end. He is one of the other members who recorded the song A Little Space with Pentatonics. The next member is Mingy, Song Mingy. He is the main rapper and the lead dancer for ATEEZ. His birthday is August 9th. He is the third member to join ATEEZ. He's also one of the other members of the 99 line. He writes all of his raps, and he is well known for his saying, it's called Fix On. He says it at the beginning of every single one of his raps. Like you'll hear him say Fix On. And he says that the reason why he says Fix On is so that people could focus in and fix on to his lyrics, to his raps, and it's also play on his last name song. He recently started getting into producing, um, so he hasn't done much, but he has been, dabbling in it. He was at a temporary hiatus, um, from November 15th to July November 15th 2020 to July 18th of 2021. So he did not participate in the Zero Fever Part 2 comeback or the filming of Kingdom Legendary War, which that is a whole anybody who's been in 18E for since before then and they went through the Kingdom era, like we were in the trenches. We were in the trenches. He was friends with Yunho before joining ATEEZ, and because he was in the dance academy with Yunho. The next member is Jung Woo Young, or it's pronounced Woo Young. He is a main dancer. He is a vocalist as well. His birthday is November 26th. He is the eighth and final member to join ATEEZ. In an interview, he there was sayings that like their team image changed when he joined, and that he is like their jewel that completes them. This is what the members have said about him. He is another member of the 99 line. He was one of the other former big hit trainees with Yosang. and he moved to KQ because him and Yosang promised each other that they would debut together. He actually is a big ARMY. He is a big BTS fan. His bias is Jimin. Um, he has a lot of other friends that are from different idol groups, but he considers San to be his best friend, and they both have tattoos, like friendship tattoos. Um, he I love Woo Young. I do. He is a big sassy he's a huge sassy person from like the videos that I've seen of him. But you could tell that he really does love the members as much as they love him. And then last but not least, we have the maknae, we have the baby of the group. His name is Jongho, Choi Jongho. Um he is the main vocalist. You know Jongho for his high notes that he just belts out in songs. His birthday is October 12th. And even though he is the maknae meaning the youngest, he is the most mature member of the group. He is the seventh member to join ATEEZ. He has a large vocal range of an A2 to a C6. For people who uh, know those terms, it's very, very impressive. He is so incredibly strong that he has been known to literally have like a stack of apples and snap them in half while he's singing. And his voice is completely like it's so stable. Like you would not even know that he's just snapping apples in half. He is the last member to record with Pentatonics before a little space. He has released multiple solo OSTs or official soundtracks for different K dramas, including A Fairy Tale of Youth, Gravity, and Wind. And he also participated in King of Mass Singer, which King of Mass Singer is the original show that the American show Mass Singer is based off of, and he was a soloist in Immortal Songs. And those are all 8 members of the group. I've said the debut information of the concept. So the concept of ATEEZ is going to go into the lore of ATEEZ. The concept of ATEEZ, they are 8. You know what? I'm just going to go here. So ATEEZ is a group of 8 teens that they are. This is the lore and their concept. That they come from all different walks of life who come together and create a bond through like their own desire for self-expression out of their individual lives. And they get approached by what's known as the Black Pirates or Holities. One or the other, they are one and the same. And basically asked to help with an issue in a different world. And the whole concept, they're pirates. Everybody, all the fans call them pirates. Their debut song was called Pirate King, where they performed in the Sahara Desert with literally $5 in the bank and a dream. And that's literally their whole concept. Everything that they make is either for a teenie or it's for the lore. Um, gosh, what do you want to know? What do you want to know so I can get into it? Do you want me to go on with like the lore of it, or do you want to know more about the actual group themselves before I get into the lore?
But yeah,
I was gonna ask about like what is your favorite album by them and your favorite track from that album.
Oh man. Oh man. That's hard one. That's a hard one. So whenever I got introduced to ATEEZ, it was actually with this song Wonderland. Um which was, I think it was like 20, oh gosh, when did that song come out? I don't know these things on the back. I can't even say like what years certain songs for, except for one for Monster X, and like I love Monster X so much. Wonderland ATEEZ. So what? Oh, it came out in 2019. Okay, so yeah. Because I wanted to say 2019, but I didn't want to like say that and me lie about it. So yeah, their first song that I got ever introduced to was Wonderland, but the first like comeback that I I actively participated in was was the album Into the A to Z with the song Inception. So, I mean, I could say that Into the A to Z is my favorite, just because that's the one that like that's whenever I really, really did get like, I would listen to them. I would dabble in their music from 2019 to 2021, but Into the A to Z was whenever I actively became like really like following their career. Um, these last two albums have been great. Gosh, that's such a hard question. Cause like I could say like Hey Hot Chili Peppers is really good. Um, hold on, cause I have to like look up all the albums. Cause gosh, there's so many of them. Um, The World Episode 1, Movement. That one's fantastic. That's the like, if I have to say like what my number one favorite song is, and I think I have not moved away from this. It's been 2 years. It would have to be like Gorillas. Gorillas from ATEEZ is my number one favorite song, like by far. It's the one that's made the biggest impact with them as well. Everybody knows the fan chant for Gorillas. Oh, but yeah, if I had to go with my favorite album, it would have to be Into the A to Z. And my favorite song. So I lied. So it's Fever Part 1. Fever Part 1 is the album. See, this is like everybody 18 get confused on like what albums. There are like which ones can like there's so many. There's so many. So Fever Part 1 is their fifth mini album. Um and hold on, because I have to like go through everything. Fever Part 2, Fever Part 1.
You could also say like just what your favorite song is and what album that one's from.
I would say Gorillas. Gorillas is my favorite song. Um, it's the most hype song that in my opinion, one of the biggest hype songs that they have. Which is from the World Episode 1 movement. Um, there are other songs that they have that have a bigger meaning to me. Um, one of them being From Zero Fever Part 1, which is One Day at a Time. So like that song I do go to a lot whenever like I'm having just a tough day. Um, because like that song is literally like, hey, like I know it's hard. I know that like you're struggling and everything like that, but like we're here for you, and like just remember like it's literally just one day at a time. This is just one bad day. Tomorrow tomorrow will be better. Kind of. And eh, gosh. There's several songs that mean a lot to me for a lot of different reasons. But yeah, one day at a time would, I would say like it has a big it hits me on an emotional level. They performed Utopia, I think last year. Not last year, their last tour. And like I sobbed. Like I was sobbing because Utopia is another one that like it's I have a playlist that's called like the feel good playlist. And it's like that's the playlist I go to like again whenever I'm having a tough day. It has a handful of AT songs. It has Juhan from Monsta X. It has Kihyun from Monsta X. Um, a handful of other artists, but like those three ATEEZ, Juhan, Kihyun, those are like the ones that I like. I listen to them on repeat whenever I'm having a bad day. They do a lot for me. So yeah, but if I'm my go-to song to listen to is Gorillaz. They just have so many good songs. It's hard to choose just one, honestly. Any other questions before we get onto the lore?
Yeah, I was about to say, like, do you want to talk about lore or the members?
What about the members?
I mean, it was back to your like earlier question with that. I'm like, huh, which one would be more interesting that you want to expound upon more?
I mean, I can only go based off of like what's shown to us, right? I do have to say that every single one of the members, from what I have observed, they're all very, very hardworking. Um, you could tell that they love to do what they do. Like they were born to be on stage, and like they love each other so much. They love each other so much. Um, my bias, I can say like my bias is Sungwa. He's the one that I know more about, right? Because whenever it comes to bias, like you pay more attention to who your favorite of the group is compared to like others. And
Yeah.
Sungwa is my favorite. He is my bias. In order, from who caught my eye to who locked the door. I'm sorry, who kept me there and then who locked the door. In order, Hongjoong caught my eye. Hongjoong was the one that got me interested in ATEEZ. The one who kept me there was San. So, San was the member that like I was like, oh, like seeing how energetic his performances are. He like I said, like he puts his whole fucking like the meme. Why am I the only one popping my? That's him. That's him. San is 100% like you. I can show you one video of ATEEZ without you knowing what member is who, and you be able to pick San out 100%. It's he put so much into his performances. And then the one who locked the door was Sungwa. Sungwa was definitely the one who locked the door. There was whenever like you learn about Sungwa and like how they had like they had a thing with a fortune, excuse me, a fortune teller like slash like palm reader, and this person said that like this is Sungwa's first life, like in the terms of like reincarnation and stuff like that. Like if you are someone who does believe in stuff like that, like this is Sungwa's first life. This is his first time like his soul has been on Earth and is experiencing what they're experiencing. And like when I heard that, like I swear I busted out into tears because I was like, oh, he's blessed. He's blessed, and the fact that we like to be like Delulu fan, like the fact that we get to experience this with him,
Yeah.
like it's like it feels like such an honor. You know what I mean? God, I haven't talked about K-pop in general very openly for and for very long in a long time. I kind of like keep it to myself other than like with other fans because like really only other like fans understand like the love that you have for these people. And I know that like K-pop gets a lot of bad rep, right? Like it's a lot of like parasocial, very unhealthy relationship. Um, the 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 industry itself is not great. The industry itself is very, very bad. They treat these idols like crap. Most of the time, I haven't heard bad stuff about KQ, right? Like there's, the occasional like, oh, they're not promoting their group properly, the mismanagement of certain things. That's common. But whenever it comes to how the members are treated from the company itself, I haven't heard much bad things about KQ. Versus like you could look up JYP and see so much shit
Yeah.
about that man, and literally how like his the idols like clown him. The idols clown him. One of the main culprits is Stray Kids. Stray Kids clown him so much, and it is very funny to see. I enjoy watching it. Speaking of, like, this is gonna be off tangent for a minute. I'm so tired. I'm so tired of seeing ATEEZ and Stays argue and fight about like, who's the best group. I love both of them. Actually, if I'm going to say the truth, like I was a fan of Stray Kids before I was a fan of ATEEZ. So I like Elevator was my first song from them. And so that's how old of a stay I am. I love Stray Kids. I went to day 1 and day 2 of their concert in Dallas. Like I love Stray Kids. I fought to get a light stick cuz god damn it, that fucking light stick is so hard to get. I participate in every comeback, even if it's like Stray Kids and ATEEZ. I participate for both of them because I just want them both to do good. So imagine going and watching Kingdom, and it's Stray Kids against ATEEZ and the boys and B2B. Yeah, all these groups that you like, like they're going up against each other, so like it's exhausting seeing like two fandoms that you're a part of fight. And like honestly, I can't. It's exhausting. It is. Um but back to ATEEZ. Yeah, Sunghwa. Oh, Sunghwa's fan group is known as the Shine Stars. Um so there's the main fan group, right, which is ATEEZ. That's anybody who is a fan of ATEEZ and identifies as such. But then they have sub fan groups, which is for like the members or like the groups. So like there's like fans who are fans of Mats, who is the Sunghwa and Hongjung. There's like members who are fans of like just San or just Mingi. Mind you, they love the whole group, but who their bias is. Like Sunghwa is my bias, so I'm known as a Shine Star. I know that his favorite color is chrome, which is exhausting. That's exhausting. Because one of an 18 he asked Sunghwa like, "Hey, what's the dress code for the upcoming tour?" And he's like, "Chrome." And I'm like, you know how hard it is to find fucking clothes that are in chrome, Sunghwa? I'm making my own costume for that. Which I'm not even halfway done with. I have all the clothing, I have all the materials to make it. I'm probably a quarter of the way done with my shoes because I have to bedazzle them. So that's fun. The light stick wrap that I ordered said it was delivered today at 12 o'clock. It's not delivered, so that's something I have to deal with too. And then there was a down payment on a cowboy hat. And there has been no response back from this person. Which again, it could just be because like they're very busy. I'm not gonna, like attack this person and say that they're not doing it. But like I'm I'm a little stressed, you know what I mean? Like I'm like, concerts in July. It is towards the end of May as we're recording now. We have a little over a month to get things done. Um I can't really think of anything else on the top of my head right now. When it comes to there's so much about Sungwa that I could go, there's so much information that I could probably go on forever about, but like there's
Yeah.
other things that we can talk about. I just want to answer any questions before we go on. Like if there's
Um.
anything that you're interested in that I may be able to tell you.
I mean, I don't have any questions because the ones I had, Bunyip beat me to the punch.
I mean, you kind of put me on the spot. It was like, "Hey, you have any questions?" I'm like, "Fuck!" I got lost when she started talking about pirates.
Well, yeah, because they are known as pirates.
Yeah.
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 Which I will say that shout out to, oh my gosh. So whoever created ATEEZ.net, they have a whole summary on the lore, which I will most likely be reading word for word because this lore could get kind of confusing. Um, and this person put it in a way that I can read it and everything like that. Like I've studied it. I could talk about it, right? Like if you put up a video and ask me where in the storyline does this lore take place, I'd be able to tell you exactly where, but then I would like be jumping back and forth because I have ADHD and tangents are my favorite thing to go on. So shout out to atene.net slash storyline slash summary. The link will be down in the description for that, as well as there's a website that's called ateezstoryline.com where it has links to the diaries, which are also part of the lore. It's where I got again, like I knew these facts, but they put it in a concise manner that I'd be able to read quickly. So I was able to read a lot of facts from the members off of this website as well. So if you are a new ATEEZ, these are two websites you can go on, or like meeting other ATEEZ on Twitter. Like they help a lot too. I got they have links, they have videos that they could show you to so much stuff that you can possibly ever learn when it comes to ATEEZ. So, I guess we can go on to the lore.
Lore.
So, again, I'm going to go word for word. And then I can probably explain a little bit more in detail with any kind of questions. So, again, ATEEZ is a group of 8 teens from different walks of life who come together and bond through their own desire for self expression in their individual lives. One summer day, Hongjun is approached by a man dressed in black, donning a fedora and a mask. He presents an hourglass with what the man calls a chromer, and Hongjun looks through this hourglass and then back at the mysterious man, in the black fedora, only to see that he's gone, leaving Hongjun with this chromer. There was a flash, and as the group came to discover what happened, a voice from outside the hideout, a voice came from outside of the hideout that the boys resided in, which is called the warehouse. It's an abandoned warehouse where they meet up, and they do like their dances and stuff like that. Um, the door is forced open, and giants clad in white, inhuman giants with masks covering their entire face appear looking for the chromer. Hongjun throws a piece of glass to distract the newcomers and the group runs away. Um and this place seemed familiar yet different. The group ran Wu Young broke his ankle, and was saved by two siblings, at the cost of the Cromer being lost. The two siblings led the group to a different hideout in a place that's called Strickland Dump. The siblings explained that this new dimension is one that's ruled by a tyrannical government. Music, art, and expression are banned as this government deemed emotion to be the cause of crime and terrorism in this reality. Logic was favored over expression, and the world gradually enjoyed material wealth but had emotional deficiency. In response, 8 men dressed in tech wear with masks and fedora to hide their identities began performing in the streets. They attracted more and more people, eventually creating the resistance called the Black Pirates. To stop the rebellion, the government instated on android guardians, the white-clad giants, to apprehend these 8 people. The leaders had or the eight leaders. The leaders had been able to evade arrest with the help of the Cromer, but the android guardians had proven too much, and eventually they were captured. To find the Cromer, the group had to find the android bunker. And for that, they needed help of the Left Eye, the man who ran Strickland Dump. After a scuffle, Left Eye gave them the location. The group procured a ship and began their journey to the bunker, a gallery hidden away on a small island. Once on the island, the group of 8 broke into the gallery, encountering drunk guardians sprawled across the floor. The man in the black fedora trapped in glass, and the man in the black fedora trapped in a glass prison. The man removed his mask once they are noticed, and he looks exactly like Hong Jun. After a brief conversation, the boys switch clothes, and the group of 7 flee in the black suits. Yoseng had gone on his own, and as he came back to his friends, noticed that they had been cornered by the android guardians. In a split-second decision, Hongjun threw the Cromer to the guardians to save them all. Yoseng grabbed the Cromer and turned it. As the guardians began to chase Yoseng, he smashed it. So this is the second Cromer that has been broken. 7 of them have been made it back to the original dimension, which is Dimension A. Dimension Z is the one that Strickland is in. But it was different again, as the boys had landed in the past before their group had even formed, um, um, and before the boys had undergone tragic loss in their own ways. But now they were missing Yoseng, and they wanted to find him. And through well, they say it's twist of fate, but they were able to find this dimension's Cromer on display in a museum, and the members decided to go get it and save him, all except Yunho, who didn't want to leave this timeline. As in the last timeline, he would lose his brothers. All the members respected this, and then the 6 of them went to attempt to break into the museum. In this dimension, there was another competitor for the Cromer, a religion called a Science Slaver, and its leader, Henry Joe. As the group of 6 broke into the museum to retrieve the Cromer, so had Henry Joe and his followers, and the 6 were quickly taken hostage. Yunho got word of this and went to save him, followed by his brother. As the 2 raced to the scene, Yunho's brother once again died in a car crash. And with this, Yunho finally made up his choice, and with his group of biker friends went to go save the group. The bikers surrounded the place as Henry Joe realized what was going on with the revving engines and yelling of his followers. Wu Young grabbed the Cromer and turned it. Yoseng was trapped in the other dimension in the smaller glass prison to before, and he was surrounded by bodies of black pirates, their biological energies drained, black sheets covering them. As Yoseng stood trapped, the trumpet sounded from somewhere in the gallery. There was banging and yelling. Then the door opened and a man in black approached Yoseng. When the man removed his mask, he finally felt relief to find that it was Sunghwa. In their hideout, a small signal came over the machine, which with that was left of the black pirates. Morse code reading, "Say my name, ATEEZ." As time progresses, and ATEEZ begins reuniting the original men in fedoras, culminating the 2 groups finally meeting face to face for the first time. But the android guardians are hot on their trail, determined to finally crush this rebellion. Ooh, it stops before Oh yeah, because this is in 2021. Oh my God, there's still 3 years left of of this storyline. So whenever they meet the men in fedoras face to face, this was, oh gosh, I can't remember the music video. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's see. Okay, so this I put a little bit more detail into it. The one that I found. Another one that I found. This is from the Tumblr user ATEEZ for life. That fitting, very fitting. So this was like whenever they were trying to get Yosang back, and the Black Pirates have like left. The story here is that ATEEZ had been instructed to make as much noise as possible, pretending to be the Black Pirates in order to keep the android guardians distracted, while the actual Black Pirates and Left Eye are keeping a low profile in the secret underground hideout, planning the revolution. Which is why, like, every music video, a lot of music videos that you see, they're like back and forth between dimensions to put on grand performances, um, and then to carry out the massive plan in the music video Gorilla, which they clearly haven't thought up themselves, with the knowledge of the Z dimension in and out. We got the flags reminiscent from the music video Thanks at Wonderland. Mingy talks about my news on the front page, which could indicate their wanted posters that are being plastered everywhere. They continue talking about heading for that place, turning over the new world, the revolutionary theme that's being carried through the narrative. Da, 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 da. Which one's this one? 10. And then ATEEZ starts posing as the Black Pirates on their first outing as the Black Pirates. It's in the music video Holla Holla, which I take everything. Holla Holla has to be by far, like, I love, like, I take everything back. Holla Holla is my number one fucking favorite song. I love Holla Holla. This song gets me hyped every time I fucking hear it. This music video is literally just them in their Black Pirate costume. Like, you don't know who each one person is unless you like recognize the voices already by this time. Holla Holla literally just showcases how good of good performers ATEEZ is. From their dance to their songs, like, you're not focused on visuals. But even then, like, the fucking costumes are cool as fuck. You know what I mean? Like, I loved Holla Holla so much. I dressed up, which, I mean, a lot of ATEEZ do. They dressed up as Holla Holla for the concert. But anyway, back to what it was. So there's two theories. It's either ATEEZ is now performing as the Black Pirates, or the Black Pirates are free and choosing to perform one last time before they go into hiding and let ATEEZ take over. But regardless, it's their way of telling the people of Strickland that they have escaped captivity. And then the story goes on to illusion, in Eternal Sunshine. It seems like they're trapped in a dream or an illusion. They're on a ship. They're flying a vessel. Like, it's a flying pirate ship. Everyone wakes up from a deep sleep. The colors are all bright and happy, which is a very crazy, different, stark contrast compared to what their current reality is in Strickland. They sing about wanting to party, calling it paradise. You know, there's like very cartoonish scenes within the music video. And then right before they reach the island, there's a quick flash to Sunghwa turning the chromer, indicated that they have activated one of its powers in search of the treasure that they had been mentioning. And then you see a glimpse of a black fedora in a box, reminding that the ship originally belonged to the Black Pirates. And the table, like, you see a magnifying glass, you see maps, you see an ink fountain, until eventually they reach the island. And like everything looks like large cardboard cutouts. Everything's painted in like pastels. There's giant things floating around, including a massive chromer. Everything like it's weird. Everything is crazy over there. They navigate their way through, and the light dims until they walk through this place and they find a familiar figure standing at the end of a corridor, um, which is one of the black pirates. They go through another place that's full of bare trees, neon lights, and flowers before escaping the exit that the black pirate shows them. And they wake up like strewn across different locations, um, which is where we find them in the music video Wave. Again, everyone's asleep at the beginning of the video, um, th- assuming that this is connected to the dream that they were having during illusion. But unlike the Black Pirates, they don't seem to be fully in control of the Cromer's powers yet. So the Cromer, depending on the moon phases, is what type of power the Cromer has. So during the crescent moon, they seem to like share dreams and like messages get sent through the Cromer itself. And like this dream is where they get to play around and have fun. Um, you know, they're just free. They're enjoying themselves. They're not in this like crazy dark world that they're in. And like there's not really anything major to the plot. It's like it's just, you know, them being in this alternate world. And then it goes to Wonderland, which they are now back in the Z world. This is the first time you really see ATEEZ flying the Black Pirates, um flying to the Black Pirates heights. Um you kick it off with like we see Hong Jun on his throne holding a compass, and like this is where they're talking about like a new world to be mined. This is them like trying to create a new world. You see Yoonho being in charge of a monitoring room. Like all the screens are broken, displaying like upside down fives. We see Woo Young tied up with multiple chains, which is calls back to the imagery of Fever Part 1, where he describes breaking free from chains and from the newfound members that he's made connections with. So he's being tied down again, most likely due to, being the work that they're doing. Um, San is now known as the decoy, the distraction. There's a flag waving robot that like these are just different images that you see throughout the music video. A big parallel that we see from Thanks and Wonderland is the backlighting with the fire behind them, like all the performers that are flanking them, all made up to look like part of the Black Pirates. We see them walking towards like a path, which is like the door of truth, like that. Like this is like them learning what's actually happening in the land of Strickland. And then you see them holding the Black Pirate flag. Gosh, there's so much. There's so much lore. There's so much lore. Um, the next music video that's part of the storyline is called Answer, and like honestly, this is a very iconic music video as well. This is the first time that we see ATEEZ and the Black Pirates facing each other. So at the end of the last one that I told you about, we're like, hey,
Mhm.
ATEEZ and the Black Pirates are coming face to face. This is the music video. The song is about like making a toast, referencing everything that they've overcome when it comes to, the desert, like the all of their individual like try like things that they've done. Um, they sit at a fancy like conference table. We get to see um we get to see Woo Young with like these like weird blue butterflies, which they're also in Deja Vu. the music video Deja Vu, which were confirmed to be remote operated drones created by, Yoseng. So there's theories about like what these drones are. That like the butterfly here in Deja Vu was real, and that Yoseng chose to study it. Um, there were a lot of them in the area, but like the ones who cannot feel emotions cannot perceive the beauty that comes with the butterflies. So after creating a hologram copy of it, he does 3D renderings of these butterflies, and then basically use them to spy on the giants. Then, of course, it cuts to the table where you see ATEEZ and the Black Pirates. They are making a toast. There is an iconic shot of literally like one side being just ATEEZ and then the other side being the Black Pirates or Holotees. They're like, this is the part of the story where like they have agreed to work alongside the Black Pirates at this point. And at the end of the music video, you see an android guardian walk into the room after everybody's already been gone. The room looks trashed. Oh, I opened up the same freaking one. The room looks trashed. And it seems like the Black Pirates and ATEEZ are one step ahead of everybody, above the Guardians. Give me one second. Okay. And then we go to, I keep on saying the most iconic. I swear, every time they make a comeback, it becomes like the most iconic of their, like, I still am not over Gorilla, like I said before. We go to Gorilla in the storyline. So Gorilla, it kicks off with Hongjun. Well, not Hongjun. You see a group of 5 people setting up around speaker. And you see a skyline of a city that's covered in like these oh gosh, what are they called? Those the blimps, the flying blimps.
Mhm.
Um, basically like Hindenburg style fucking blimps. You know what I mean? If you don't know what Hindenburg is, please look it up. Tragic, but like the skyline is covered in them. They are surveillance. You could tell that they're surveillance, that they're part of Strickland because of just the stark whiteness that it is. And then it cuts to finding out that these are members of ATEEZ who have disguised themselves to work on this transmitter, which basically allowed them to hijack it and use it for their own, reasons. And then there's like on his shirt, like you do see the Cromer logo on his shirt. After Hongjun takes off his mask, the screen glitches to red and he disappears. Meaning that he used the Cromer to teleport. So and then it goes to like their performance. The song starts, right? And this song and you could tell that it was like filmed. Like this is something like, it's a small film, it's in black and white. This performance that they are putting on with this song is being transmitted to transmitted to schools, workplaces. Like there's a scene, gosh, I can't remember where it is, but there's a scene in one of the videos where, or teaser, where like you see this, like these group of students sitting in like this classroom, like perfect rows. Everybody's wearing perfect clothing. They have things in their ears, and there's a screen in front of them. They're being like literally like brainwashed into being like, no, emotion is bad. Like only logic. Like if like you cannot, basically like telling them like, don't be acting this way. And the music calls for, calls for a new world, and getting out of this boring routine. There's shots of Yoseng in the back of a van, seemingly in charge. Like it's a control room. You see Yoonho placing a call, Sungwa stepping out of an elevator, and then of course San playing his role as a decoy by distracting the guards. There is there's something being transmitted with messages spelling like wake, like you'll hear it in like one of the songs too, where they go, wake up world, are you seeing this up in the sky? Like they're saying all this stuff, and they're performing live from an old radio station recording booth, as well as outside the back of their control room van. You see them throwing flyers out of the back of the van. Yoseng and Wu Young infiltrating the building to further spread the transmission. The streets are empty. The main channels are fully hijacked. You know, buildings are in control, like are now under ATEEZ's control, leaving them like to be able to perform freely on the rooftop. And one of the most iconic scenes out of everything that I have seen ATEEZ do, other than like the Halazia scarecrow, is them standing on speakers and instruments, like with flyers flying everywhere, black smoke in the background. They're wearing white suits and they're waving these anarchy flags around. Like it gives you like black parade vibes, like major black parade vibes. They're screaming like war screams, like rah! Like I love this scene. I love this scene. Cinematic fucking like beauty that this scene is. Um and of course, like now that they've spread their logo everywhere, their flags are everywhere. They even like get one of the blimps and like spray paint the anarchy symbol and have like the flyers flying out of the blimps. Um, you do see flashes of the Black Pirates performing the same song, now without masks. They're no longer hiding their identity. And it shows the collaboration between ATEEZ and the Black Pirates. In the end, you find them in a hideout with Left Eye, and they are alerted about someone entering through a wire fence, and you see a kid from the school where you saw them all like getting brainwashed from wearing the emblem Prestige Academy. Prestige Academy is the the school that like you go and get brainwashed for. Um and then we go on to the movement diary. Right. So people in Strickland have microchips implanted in their ears, which make them docile and obedient. This is like more deep into detail. The Black Pirates hijack the propaganda speakers and they play the music. You know, they show up, perform on the streets. There's flyers that say like you are valuable by yourself. No one can define you. No one can control you. Being alive is imperfect and it's beautiful to be imperfect. Read poetry, draw pictures, listen to music, dance, sing. Therein lies your own answer. And it's signed the Black Pirates. Of course, the chipless people get scared and they flee, while the ones that are chipped um ignore it. Like the people who get scared and flee is because there's so much stimulus, right? Like they're not used to like all of this, basically the arts. They're not used to the arts and consuming it. So like they don't, it's extremely overwhelming. The android guardians go through and they try and catch the ATs and the Black Pirates, who use the Chromer's ability to teleport short distances and like evade capture. The final performance, um someone, and we don't know who yet, finds a breaker and pockets it. We find out that the government has removed reflective surfaces and blocked all sunlight to stop people from recognizing themselves, and who long for freedom. Back in Say My Name, you see that there were like mirrors that were confiscated and stuff. The government fully takes controls of people nutrients intake through medicine and stuff. Very, very much Brave New World, if we're being completely honest. This is very, very much Brave New World. We learned that like whenever an implanted chip fails, the wearer now can become fully alert and free thinking. The signal sent back to Left Eye, which allows the Black Pirates to reach out to them. However, even if there's a civilian that is awakened, like it doesn't join their cause, they are now free to live without having like them being brainwashed. In the hideout, the Black Pirates, ATEEZ, and Left Eye are discussing like their struggle to locate Z, which is the head of the government, the main oppressor, the one like no one knows where their hideout is in Strickland. Um, before they choose to focus on something that they can do. And that's whenever they figure out to attack the Prestige Academy. There's a young boy that shows up to their hideout and pleads for help. He shares that he used the breaker on himself and his older brother, but his older brother fell into panic. The boys knows quote unquote defective humans are taken to Guardian Island, which is where Yoseng, Left Eye, the Black Pirates, and the Grimes siblings were being kept. And now he's scared for his brother. And the Prestige Academy, which both boys attended, was already their first target anyway. They're like, okay, well, let's go there. And we're going to go there. Which is where the song Halazia comes in. Halazia is a combination of hala hala. Hala hala means hearts awakened, lived alive. Which can be translated to black mass or time puzzle as well. And Zia, which means the sun. So be the light, Halazia. Hold on. Blah, 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 blah. So in this video, there's a theory saying that we're not dealing with ATEEZ or Black Pirates. The main indicator being that like you don't hear Mingi's fix on or Hongjung's giggles before their rap parts, which has been, like I said, whenever I was introducing the members, that is how you know that they're about to come on. That's when you know that their part is about to, because you hear the ha or you hear fix on and then it goes on. Regardless of whether or not they were ATEEZ or Black Pirates. It seems that in this music video, Yoonho is the leader of the group and Hongjun is the right hand band, as opposed to Hongjun being the leader. And this is the comeback. This is a comeback where we see Yoseng's birthmark for the first time, and that's when everybody went crazy. We do still see Hongjun wearing his captain's armband. That is another thing that Hongjun is very well known for, is that during his performances, it doesn't matter whether it's in the music videos or on stage, he has an armband that's known as the captain's armband, and it has the Cromer logo on it. So there's a theory that like Yoonho may be the face of the group as the leader, but it's really Hongjun the one that's in charge of behind the scenes. Alternatively, like we're in a world that's very close to the Z world. You could see that the revolution has already ended, but it's not so successful. There's the city up in smoke, there's rubble in the background. You see Yoonho sitting on like a ginormous, like shattered Cromer. And like there's assumptions that they have already traveled through times and alternate realities to get there, and are now stuck until they find another one to go back home, or that this is like the okay, hold on, I lost where I was reading. Or this entire room is the remainder of the Black Pirates' hideout, and the Cromer was destroyed by one of them before they were captured, so it wouldn't fall into the hands of the government. So those are the two theories that pop up a lot. We've seen a gravitational anomaly, where Hongjun first received the Cromer in A World. Going back to like the lyrics of the song, they've been here long before the revolution. And used to live as regular citizens of Strickland before they had their microchips removed by the Black Pirates. They want to be in charge of their own lives, you know. And there's a big theory that you'll hear like a bell ring, a bell toll throughout different songs, one of them being Halazia. And there's a theory that whenever this bell tolls, that is the Cromer activating, like the power activating. So there's a time where the bell rings and then you see Sunghwa glitch. So like it's either like there's hologram technology that makes a public appearance, or they're not fully human, um, otherwise existing in this world on borrowed time, or the bell could indicate that you know this theory is actually very interesting because my theory on the music video is like, because one of the things that you see, it's a very big thing in this music video, is the scarecrow wearing the Black Pirate's costume, or the ATEEZ costume, or however you want to call them. The Black Pirates is better. Um, and then you see there was probably a war or something, like this was like after the original rebellion, and now ATEEZ, the group ATEEZ, has to take the spot of the Black Pirates because the Black Pirates are no more. That's what I took from the music video. For the storyline was that like ATEEZ now has to step up as the Black Pirates because the Black Pirates are no more. So, but in this one, it's saying like regarding the Black Pirate outfits, we're seeing through the music video that our protagonists were freed by them but without AT's help, they couldn't manage to stay undetected, and they like the government straight up murdered and like captured them. So left without guidance, everyone's praying. Okay, so this is part of my theory, is that everyone's wanting the Black Pirates to return, and so now ATEEZ has stepped up and started rebuilding the movement. Though like you see the scarecrow getting burnt. You see them burning the fedora as well. Either out of like a funeral ritual, out of frustration or anger of being abandoned, like these clothes were strung up by the government to scare off anybody else that wants to be part of the rebellion. But no one really knows. There you see a lot of other citizens show up that were freed and are willing to join their cause. And their current mission seems to be taking down this anti-gravity orb. Now, when I saw this in the music video, I lost my shit. And the reason why I say that is because if you went to the world tour, there was an orb which looks like a moon, and it was floating above the crowd. Like there was a giant orb that looked like a moon that was just there. It was floating there. And my theory, like I was always like, look, everything that they do is part of the lore. Everything they did on Kingdom was part of the lore because there was stages that hinted to Gorilla. There was and so I was like, okay, so whenever I went to this concert, I was just like, I kept an eye out on everything because I was like, this has to be, like, there has to be some kind of spoiler or something that has to do with, like, the next comeback or the storyline. And lo and behold, whenever Halazia came out and I saw this fucking orb, like, I was like, are you... My brain exploded. I was like, oh my God, this is great. So, again, it seemed like their only mission in this was to take down this gravity orb, this anti-gravity orb. This is going based off of what was written here. The central government presumably built and installed it to maybe send out some kind of pulse to regain control of the population. Because the chips have only had one link cut and they weren't removed, which establishing the link would be possible as long as the hardware wasn't fully fried. And that would explain why there's both fear in the lyrics about returning to the prior state of being pre-awakening, as well as why San is so ready to risk it all to break this thing. Either way, you see Yosang bringing in the chains to tie it up, and you can look in the skyline compared to the one in the prologue. It seems like there's like thick smoke pillars that are originating from like other crash sites of the other orbs, which means that they have already brought down multiple other ones, and like they have reached probably like one of their last stops. They wrap the chain around the orb, tie it all nice and neat, which like imagine trying to fucking tie chains around this fucking floating thing, and they start all pulling together, which up until everyone like somehow leaves, and like only San is there left to... Oh my God. Hold on. It kicked me out. It kicked me out. Okay, I'm back. Until they left San to finish the job. Um, there could be multiple reasons for this. It was already part of the plan, or like everyone lost hope. But San that it was gonna work out, and they were already exhausted by doing this several times before, and it didn't seem to be much progress. Or San convinced everyone to leave so that like he was the only one left because the Guardians would be on their way. There could be different reasons for it. It all ends up with the orb evaporating the moment it collides with San, as if like his existence kind of like canceled it out, which was really beautiful when it comes down to like visually, like the creativity of it. Because they put this, no one wants to see this human embodiment of sunshine get crushed to death. Which, yes, I agree with you wholeheartedly. It also means that if San is still alive, he possesses the ability to go beyond regular humans, with the regular material. So, moving on to the prologue and epilogue, you see these numbers pop up a lot: 22152984. And if you decode them with the A1Z26, in which like it's a Gravity Falls Break the Code web, like you could use the Gravity Falls Break the Code website for this. That's what they put there. But the code is close to Bluebird. It should have been 21221529184, which means they forgot the one. Regardless, like it's saying that like people were thinking that they were coordinates, that it was a cipher for Hangul. But like if you're using basic C4, it goes to like my 8, which like yeah, ATEEZ is 8 members, but like we don't know what else it could be. Whenever you look up the numbers itself, it's like Oxygen Electronics. But like regarding the numbers, like no one's really been able to like decipher exactly what they're called. There's a blonde person that pops up towards the end of the prologue and disappears in a blink of an eye. Sungwa's the only one who like noticed this person, and based on his expression, it doesn't seem like it's the first time that he's seen them. There are theories going around that this is who they say is the witness, because there has been like notes or teaser photos of what's from the witness. Um but we'll get back to that one in a moment. Whenever we go to the prologue, there's a shot of a bluebird, which we got to see before, and it's really a symbol of reclaiming freedom. That they've made it. That the bird's path guides Sungwa to the abandoned mall, which that was a you had to be there moment for ATEEZ, like the YouTube channel that ATEEZ has, to go live for 30 minutes unprovoked, right? There was no announcement whatsoever about them going live, and it was literally just a screen of this abandoned fucking mall. And like every once in a while, like you'll see like a bird float by, or like God, like the one that scared everybody was the fucking bell toll out of nowhere. And it was just 30 minutes. It was just 30 minutes of this abandoned fucking mall. Like no one else was talking, no one showed up. It was just this mall. And then after the live, they took it down. So like you can't find it unless like an 18 unless like an 18 uploaded like their screen recording of it, right? And like there were things that would pop up on the pillars, like numbers or like Hangul saying like certain words and stuff like that. And so like people were like literally like were deciphering this shit for like days on like what the fuck it meant. Like this was such a huge thing in their comeback. It was huge. And again, like it was like a you had to be there moment, because like everybody was shook. Everybody was shook. Anyway, so it guides this bluebird guides Sungwa through this abandoned mall where the orb was brought down and San was sacrificed, and it whistles a little tune and disappears by that white clad figure. Um last seen among the small group of on the rooftop, the blonde stands by themselves again, but the others aren't too far behind. With the mission now over, Sunghwa lets his curiosity take over and follows the figure up the dark staircase. And he finds a group of four. Finds a group of four from the rooftop standing in a dark room amongst like the smoky skyline behind these windows, like they were waiting for him. And then there's like a white flash, a rolling thunder, and they're gone. Like just like after Yosang broke the Chromer, we also got to witness the Chromer's powers here. This marks the third Chromer, meaning that there's 4 from other realities, and they've now become witnesses of the protagonist's achievement. They left behind a departing gift, which is a silver bracelet engraved with the words "Be free." Like a world to Sunghwa, it seems the blonde witness has also gotten inspired by the world's version of the dancing girl, who I theorize to be Left Eye's daughter. This is word for word what the person has posted. And they now left the bracelet behind, hoping that it will inspire this world's Sunghwa the way that it inspired them. I'm part 18 out of part 18 out of I'm sorry, part 17 out of 25. There's a lot. There is a lot. So, now, I keep saying this, but, like, again, every comeback shooketh. Because this comeback, this is, we're now going on to Bouncy. Bouncy is the next part of the story. Bouncy, the first thing that we got, well, not the first thing, but one of the things that we got 3 days before this comeback was like a small clip of the chorus of the song and them like dancing in this building, right? Like, and that was it. We didn't know it. Like, all we heard originally was like the instrumentals, and like everybody was like, oh, this is gonna be like, oh my gosh, the instrumentals are like this. We can't wait till the song comes out. And then you just see fucking like Hongjoon come out and like do like this like follow the leader, like slow it down, make it bouncy, jingle butterfly. Oh my god. And everyone's like, what the fuck's gonna happen during the comeback? This comeback's great. This comeback was great. So through the music video, we'll be seeing both ATEEZ and the Black Pirates. Based on the skills we'll be seeing each member displayed throughout the course of the video. So in this music video, oh my god, this music video shows so much shit. So, we get from the diary version of the album, which is the album that I got, we know that the Black Pirates are known as the Outlaws as well. So ATEEZ are the ones in white infiltrating the Prestige Academy towards the end, which is where you see them in this outfit doing the fucking line, like, ugh. In the album trailer, like, so they've been planning this mission for 6 months. ATEEZ, the Black Pirates, and the Left Eye been planning this like for 6 months, right? So the Black Pirates split up into like 2 like duos. They've been hiding in different parts of the city to gather intel from different civilian groups. Woo-young and San, as so San being an underground fighter, Woo-young being his manager, Yunho and Jungho are mechanics, fake cops, and particularly foragers. Hongjoon is a babysitter of a goat, with the Mingi, who have been presumably bar hopping. Then again, like you'll know more about the roles later, but for like everybody loved the fucking goat. Everybody loved the goat. Sunghwa, fucking Sunghwa and the grills. He wore grills for this comeback, and I lost my shit. I'm not usually a fan of grills, but my god, these were fantastic. And seeing, and like he made friends with like a biker group, and like it was great. And like Yosang is now like a food delivery driver, right? So they've now been called into action, Yosang being the communication link for all of them. Whenever you watch the trailer, you can see the song titles in neon signs, like by and the name of the delivery service that Yosang uses is called Bluebird, which is a callback to Halazia. To outline older aesthetics of the music video, which take place in the outskirts of Strickland. The aspect, this is from them, the aspect ratio was kept in a 4:3, which is the norm. There's stark contrast between the widescreen ratio from Gorilla um, and the CGI effects and the backgrounds and everything like that. So, we open with Mingy, who's heading to this cowboy western steampunk looking bar called Chili Peppers, all by himself. Followed by Sungwa with his biker buddies, and Hongjun in front with his goat sign. I'm assuming this refers to like the greatest of all time term, like he's the goat and stuff like that. But it's very funny that they put an actual goat in the video and the promo. It's fantastic. We see the whole crew together. It seems to be either on bikes in front of the Chili Peppers bar or in front of Chang-ho and Yoon-ho's garage. Named Outlaw Customs, which means that they are moving back and forth between between like their time apart and like post reunion. So like there's like flashes back and forth, back and forth. A big part of the music video shows like Woo Young and San, who like they became really popular during their hideout. San being a very successful underground fighter. He has his own fan club. Woo Young's been hustling like with a lot of fucking money as San's manager, usually from bets that's made against San. We see a lot of signs that say like the champ is here, quitting is not an option, so on and so forth. You also see a shot of Yoonho in a garage, leaning up against a police car, and slap like their own like outlaw sticker on the top of it. Because like during the showcase, like Hong Jun was like, in an unjust society, doing the right thing can be illegal, which there's a lot of similarities by the ATEEZ world and IRL, what's happening now, right? Like there's a lot of things that people are sticking up for that are right, but they are considered illegal from government standards, right? We see a glimpse of Yoonho and Jungho's police IDs, which they could have used for like investigative purposes to question citizens. That wouldn't be like, because they're informatives, right? So there's a big mysterious part of the music video where we see Yosing and Sungwa with their biker friends in a room that looks similar to the museum that you see in Say My Name. In the center, you see a container with a pedestal hooked up to a bunch of tubes and wires, and a tiny little chili plant that only seems to thrive in a very specific climate, which is like like you see the red lighting, the tubing, which is managing the moisture and oxygen levels, things of that nature. Um, we can only speculate that these chilies have like some kind of properties that the government wants to keep from civilian hands. And we also see the chilies being used to deliver messages to other members. Like, and Yosing and Sungwa have stolen the entire remaining supply of these chilies. We can see the peppers being served in the bar that Mingy enters. The bar guests approach Mingy with like a threatening air about them. There's like a confrontation, and like he obviously has the upper hand. Like he's like like there's a shootout. And the barkeep like he's shooting down everyone but the barkeep before like they can even do a shot. You see San having a rough time while Woo Young's trying to keep him motivated. Like this music video is literally just showing what they're doing on the sidelines to keep hidden. Let's see. There's the iconic clip of Mingy doing his body rolls in the cropped vest that everybody's like fucking fangirls over, which that's fair. And then, with all these wins secured from like all their different spots of like Sun like having issues, but then like fighting and beating the person and so on and so forth, they have finally somehow infiltrated the Prestige Academy. They're wearing the white uniforms that are reminiscent of the boy from the end of the Gorilla music video. The windows are all clear. Sunlight is streaming inside. The kids have been woken up. We cut back to Hong Jun, who snaps one of the chilies in halves, which there's a single bullet. And it's a very high caliber bullet. And in the grand scheme of things, like, weapons are usually kept far from civilians. So, like, of course, things are going to be, especially like in this kind of government, you can only speculate, right? So, smuggling weapons and bullets seems to do the trick. And so they are trying to smuggle things. And so, these revolutionists are building up a civilian army to fight the android guardians and the government agencies. But this bullet in particular is some like weird shit, right? Like, it's not a regular like rifle high caliber. Like, this thing is like super high tech. When you see it get shot, like, it morphs into like this. I can't even describe it. They have clearly tried to upgrade from whatever they try to use against the Guardians and fireworks, and the leaders. You see Hong Jun loaded into his gun before taking aim and like calculate, like very sniper like, and shoots it. You see the bullet fly, and the bullet pierces through the climate control container that houses the chili plant, that shatters the glass as Sunghwa, Yoseng, and the crew are stationed there. The plant can no longer produce chilies for the government, and all the remaining chilies in the universe are now in the hands of the revolutionists. Again, I don't know what the significance is of the chilies, so we can only speculate until the next comeback, and even then, like, we don't know, like, if they're even gonna explain it, because the trailer for this next comeback is called Golden Hour, and this comeback, like, the trailer that they put has literally been like, hey, this I think I think that it's a comeback for ATEEZ and ATEEZ. Like, this is a comeback that's just for them. But there's also been hints of like the Black Pirates, like you see the fedoras and everything like that. But again, we don't know until this stuff comes out. Anyway, so it moves. This bullet flies through the Prestige Academy, where like ATEEZ is gathered. Like, it goes through open windows. The kids have been freed, and like, and it keeps going. It keeps going. It moves through like the inner city, heading straight for the tallest building in the center of the city. Where we've seen in the in trailers before. Where they were heading towards in their motorcycles. It enters through a window, flies down a sterile, dimly lit corridor, pierces through a closed white door, but finally hits its mark, which is the head of an android guardian. The bullet's impact triggers an explosion, which transitions to a celebratory part of the music video where they're gathered in front of the Chili Peppers bar. And it all culminates with a shot of the Black Pirates walking away from the government skyscraper as it goes up in smoke and flames, with the mission as a success. Jesus Christ, there's so much, y'all. There's so much. This is the diary entries. So, yeah, it just explains everything about like literally what just happened in the music video. Sungwon Yoseng talked to the brother in the bathroom, try to help him understand that having emotions isn't a bad thing. The brother begins to come around, bangs on the door and threatens. Just when the brother begins to come around, someone bangs on the door and threatens to report them. The group of students with thunder inscribed on a symbol etched into their uniforms. They're a group of elite students charged in reporting any students who show emotions. Sunghwa remembers from the A world that she was the one who danced, the one who dropped the Be Free bracelet. And she shows a flicker of emotion when confronted with the trio, and the badly suppressed emotions of Sunghwa and the panicky brother, but quickly suppress it, and she lets him go with a warning. To repay the girl from a deep impact of her alternate self had unknowingly had on his life, Sunghwa vows to himself that he'll free her. So, like, ATEEZ planned on gathering out in the courtyard. He broke up into the upper floor. Hold on. Yeah, he broke an upper floor window standing on the ledge overlooking the quad. Woo Young and Yuho try and talk him down. This is all from like the album that I got. This is part of like the whole story. Like this is word for word what they were saying. They try to talk him down. The younger brother's crying in the courtyard. Yunho is trying to make him see how devastating it is to lose a brother. Finger scraping past Woo Young's, they try to grab him. Using the chromer, Yunho manages to teleport and grab the older brother mid-air because the older brother was going to unalive himself. Everyone except for Woo Young, now down in the quad, they take their positions, leaving Woo Young pouting for a moment before he too disappears with a flash. Presumably, Yunho teleported to snatch him, and thus dodging the Guardian before reappearing in his assigned spot. Large music begins to blast as a huge black tent covered the building. Its walls are lined with neon lights. The Black Pirates and ATEEZ dodge the Guardians, keeping them engaged and confused while more and more students are using the breakers on themselves and, freeing themselves. After a ball of light descends from the ceiling and shoots out a hologram images of the students, allowing them to see themselves as they would in a mirror. ATEEZ and the Black Pirates teleport all around the place as they begin to sing and dance, putting on a concert for the cheering students as leaflets rain down, which are picked up and read by the kids whose minds are quick to open up to the new world of opportunity. Of course, the leader of the Guardians gives the first order that says, "Catch anyone who's been awakened. We need hostages." Smoke bombs go off, chaos happens. Sungwa's arm is caught by the leader of Thunder. Yosing is left anxiously calling out Sungwa's name like Sungwa is not to be found anywhere. We end at Z's headquarters where the Guardian leader and the principal of the Prestige Academy have been called to Z's office. Z lays out the situation that the principal needs to take responsibility for what happened, and there's a replacement already on standby to take the principal's place, and the principal shall be disposed of quietly. The Z only Guardians, which are Z's personal guards, are quick to shoot the principal, killing him instantly. That was in the diaries. Gosh, I'm sorry, I'm not done. I'm not done, y'all. It's so much. There's so much. We are on to Crazy Form, which is their latest comeback. Crazy Form is great. I love Crazy Form. Again, I can't choose a favorite. Everything's so good. So it starts off with Captain Hongjun himself strutting down the center aisle, between the crouch rows of like runway, like kind of like a runway model, as he's instructing them to get up. Whenever he reaches the front, everybody breaks formation and jumps right into a performance. I couldn't figure it out. I couldn't figure it out because like it literally starts off for like 92-4 kick the drum, my ego in the show, right? Which this person said that they found an explanation by Reddit user RoadTide37 that explains actually 92-4. It's actually 92-4. So it's the drums. They are telling you out the gate that it's 90 beats per minute, two quarter notes each bar. So 4 notes per each bar. So it's easier to understand if you know how to read music. Anyway, so we cut to Yunho in comfy clothes, a headband, like he's in a bunker. There's a table covered in blueprints. He's looking at like a hologram projector. There's holograms of pirate ships. The pirate ships' main mast, buildings, pieces of tech floating around him. Very Iron Man-esque scene, right? Throughout the scene, like it cuts back and forth to like Yunho dancing with some other revolutionists in an underground space lined with like doors. It cuts to Mingy in a full black get-up, inside what looks to be a surveillance room. His performance is interspliced with clips of him outside in a suit as he's getting into a car through the city of neon lights. Maniac This says this maniac races into a back alley where he crashes his car straight through the wall of a small, unassuming building, which turns out to be a casino. His I don't give a fuck attitude takes him straight to the bar where he pours himself a cocktail glass of milk, which the bartender doesn't seem to mind. I mean, okay. Once his glass has been emptied, he opens a small metal suitcase, which contains another hologram projector. So they said, I'll assume the bartender's providing it to aid in the revolution. This belief is reinforced when we get a shot of Mingy's empty glass filled with a stack of olives impaled by a black cocktail flag sporting the red anarchy symbol. Which, ATEEZ has been known to sport a lot of. It goes on to Woo Young and joining Yoonho in the bunker. They're part of like the surveillance team. It shows Yoonho several feet away, like things are going crazy in there. Yoonho like gets mad at Woo Young for I was about to say Wonho.
Oh,
Different idol. Different idol. The Wano was one of the original members of Monsta X before he left in 2019 for drama, which makes me angry every time I talk about it. Anyway, so Yoonho, like, he's sitting several feet away. Woo Young like throws something and it slams into his screen and like it sets off a shower of sparks. Yoonho gets mad and like yells at him, like basically like, "What the fuck, man?" And like William's like, "Well, you told me to throw it over to you," and like he's like, "Whatever." Like he's very much nonchalant about the whole thing. A warning pops up during their bickering that shows like a warning sign. It cuts to a poker table. There's Jong Ho dressed up in a black suit inside of the casino that Mingy like literally just drove into. There's like two people that he's sitting with. They're high-ranking officials in a military police force. In the making film, like so in K-pop, they have the music video, but then they have the behind the scenes videos as well, like the making of the music videos. And in the making video, the members just call them high officials from the Z world. So we're assuming that these people are like they work with Z himself or themselves. Jungho proceeds to hold up the ace of anarchy, which causes the uniform men to pull a gun from under the table. Both Jungho and Mingi are clearly aware of, since Mingi steps beside Jungho right away. Without missing a beat, Jungho grabs a hidden gun that was in the waistband of Mingi's pants and like just shoots them. We cut to oh my gosh. Oh, I love Sunghwa in this outfit. So we cut to Sunghwa outside of a fenced-off area 8. He's performing on a makeshift stage, surrounded by warning signs and people telling him to be away. The building behind the fence is covered in banners supporting the Black Pirates logo. Sunghwa's outfit is so great. I love this outfit so much. He's wearing like a white puffy sleeve, like a pirate puffy sleeve shirt with like a corset. But this corset like stops like right below right below the breast line, like right below his pecs, like so it's only like his midsection, right? And he's like and oh, it's so good. I'm sorry. I've seen them wear corsets before, and I lose my mind every time. It's amazing. He's dressed in a flowy white skirt, silver jewelry, a black corset with matching pants. He's not afraid to be recognized by anyone who could be looking. Because Sasan and Yoseng joining him for this performance. You see a larger number of black pirates performing together. You see it seems that San, Yoseng, Hanjun, Woo Young, and Sunghwa, like they were in the same room. Like everybody's doing their part, right? It's quickly evident that they choose to go out during the day for once because they plan to be on the news. As Hongjung reaches the line, crazy boys are getting crazier, the video takes on a familiar news channel framing, the classic globe logo on the left. There's breaking news going across the screen. You see like recorded feed from the like casino surveillance. It shows a scene with like Mingy and Jong Ho. There's also like a news ticker on the bottom that says the Black Pirates break into the lounge. Um, they're hold on. The after all the ruckus Hong Jun clearly caused, he somehow manages to twirl in a circle as he shoots bullets from his finger into the air. This is like I'm just reading word for word at this point. Like it's great. It's awesome. Kong Jun's being goofy, like he's being wacky. He's dancing on top of like a fucking like I he jumps on a car surrounded by like cops and like literally like fucking like he like holds up peace signs, right? Like next to his eyes and literally like fucking like hip thrusts to like provoke him.
Oh my god.
So funny. I lost my mind when I saw that. I was like, "Oh god." And it cuts to him spray painting a white line across the wall with their own revolution like flyers, like passing Yoseng, who just ends up with a white streak across his jacket. He throws up his hands like after like as like Hong Jun runs past him, like Yoseng's basically like, "What the fuck, man? Like, why would you do that shit?" Um, you see him running from authorities. He runs across like all kinds of places, like in like little like comic panel forms. You cut to like like it cuts to like Sungwa laughing like a crazy person as he's dragged along by his own audience. You follows closely by San showing, oh my gosh, this freaking glove has caused so much ruckus. So you see San wearing this glove, right? It's a one-fingered glove. This glove only covers his palm and his index finger. And there have been fans who told him that whenever he wears it, it looks like he's throwing up the middle finger because he always throws up a peace sign, right? And he's always wearing like dark clothes or some shit. So it always looks like he's just throwing the middle finger. So the fact that they put it in this music video as a peace sign and it's literally him like throwing like it's him throwing the middle finger. He's saying read between the lines. Like it's so
Oh,
good. It's so good. They threw that in there on purpose. They're like fuck these people, right? Um you know, we also get to see like Yo saying spray paint like be free. Um, there's we see a full picture of the three shutters with their signatures Z, their two red words be free, like everything, It cuts to Jongho in the casino, like basically like who just fired off the 3 rounds. Mingy stands by and watches like our Maknae go rogue and very proud. One of the bullets hits the sprinkler, setting it off, like killing the and destroys the TV in the neighboring room, just as an android guardian is seen on screen. Um, and then Jong Ho walks off satisfied, as the sprinklers go off. We see Hong Jun being pushed onto the hood of the car as the cops are now starting to arrest him. He manages to free an arm and fixes a gadget which looks like a hologram projector on the side of a vehicle. Um, and as it activates, a pulse of like light washes across the city. You see Woo Young, and oh, I'm sorry, it ejects a beam of light, which what Woo Young sees in the bunker, and Woo Young um activates something, and a pulse of light washes across the city, dousing it in darkness as a familiar pirate ship appears in the sky, as like it looks like a literal glowing ghost ship. Um, the hologram that Woo Young and Yoonho had been working on the entire time. The moon now appears full as the black pirates laugh and celebrate, smirking up at the sky, performing across all the different locations. The casino, the drinking in the casino bar, which leads to the like that they were able to complete the mission. And then we end up with them at the double roof structure before the screen cuts to black. And then a beat later, you see a glowing red chromer that's broken. And we see the bluebird that flies, that when last time you saw it, it was in Halazia, but it's holding a red pulsating object, and is its beak, it rises up in the sky to where a full red moon is risen. Oh gosh, they even put like this solo music videos in here. I didn't think that those were part of the storyline. So, part 20, there's major lore updates in this one. This is a diary entry. Um, the city is currently mid-revolution. There's, all the graffiti that we talked about before. Though like they try and hide it under like concealment screens and everything like that. The government, fed up with the Black Pirates' activities, they are no longer satisfying with just announcing them as a terrorist group and asking for them to be turned in. Now they deem anyone who joins their cause as co-conspirators. If you're caught inducing emotions in anyone, you'll be executed on the spot. You won't even be taken to the disposal site. We cut to a scene right in the center of the square where Guardians pull up in their cars and approach the display erected there for one clear purpose. A rope is lowered and pulled. Hands are dusted off and Guardians take off again. Words are no longer needed. They leave behind, hanging below the display, the corpses of multiple captured and executed sense off offenders. A warning to all who dare to resist that the next one could be you. But unbeknownst to them, it has an opposite effect. Tears and sobs fill the air, cries of sadness and anger, loss of innocent life reinforce what they already knew is that it can't go on like this, that their deaths can't be in vain, that something has to change. The aftermath of the raid on the Prestige Academy is spread by word of mouth, getting past all attempts of censorship and showed them the path of resistance. We now join ATEEZ and the Black Pirates right after the Prestige Academy raid where Sunghwa had left with the leader of Thunder. The boy's brother, exhausted from crying, is sleeping in the corner. Hongju, all the members are freaking out over Sunghwa's disappearance, but he's not gone for long because he just kind of like casually shows back up at the bunker, and Hongjun kind of gets mad. He's just like, tell me you didn't run off with that girl because she looked like the Be Free girl, and that like Yoseng suggested. And Sung was like, it's not like that. And he pulls out an unfamiliar map and explains that it was provided by the girl as the leader of Thunder, the students' version of Black Pirates, aka fellow revolutionists. They put a tracker on the boy before he was captured, believing he was being taken to the disposal site, which is the place that the map is of. Still doubtful, Hongjun questions the girl and Thunder's motives. Why not join the Black Pirates? Why are they acting behind their backs? And Sunghwa reassures them that as the elite of elite, Thunder has access to information that can lead them directly to Z, the leader of Strickland. There's a little bit more background on Z, who is the main oppressor. So he's the leader of Science Slaver, I believe it's pronounced. Unlike, however, in A World, which is where, um, the ATEEZ is from, where this organization was founded in 1999, is still rather small and led by Henry Joe. This is a pseudo religious scientific organization spearheaded by Z. They're behind the creation of the AI simulation for the best solution, aka the answer to their question, what do I need to do to gain absolute unchallengeable power, to which the AI answered, get rid of all human emotions. With this knowledge, they created the political party under the catchphrase, the pursuit of a peaceful world without religious conflict and terror through emotional control. The party grew in size, enough to pass the Emotional Regulation Act, which led to like the class system to a point of defective people were now disposed of. They have not yet achieved total control. Z and his political subordinates stay exclusively in Z's hideout near the city center, where only the elites reside. They never leave the building. Only the elites of the elites can ever like get to enter, and once they exit, they remain under strict surveillance by the android guardians to prevent spread of knowledge. Android guardians, who are collectively referred to as the Imperial Watch, are the only ones allowed to freely come and go since they're not human and thus immune to being corrupted by emotions of if captured or interrogated. The pirates have never been able to obtain precise location of Z's hideout despite the past efforts to catch hold of suspects. Working with Thunder despite the risk now seems like their best shot at finally eliminating the hideout and securing a massive leap forward in the revolution. We cut back to Z's office where the Prestige principal was just executed. And the new order was given is that now that we set the bait, the black pirates will go to the disposal site to save the child. Take care that no mistakes like this are repeated at the disposal sites, or you will be one placed this time. With a troop of 100 android guardians, the head guardian enters the disposal site alongside a slew of blue butterflies who spread out among the workers with red, marred skin from furnaces. The head guardian refers to them as red humans who are so hideous that they resemble goblins more than people. The troops march after the butterfly, fluttering down the hallway towards the cells where the to be disposed of people are kept. Humans who have been classified as physically disabled or harboring feelings. They appear enchanted by the sight of the butterflies. And unlike the guardians who took no note of them, which leaves a singular one to continue onward past the cells. Red humans are stirring the remains of the incinerator as the butterfly rises up past the executioner platform. Upon closer inspection, the butterfly can be identified as an animatronic containing a camera. Like I said before, this is Yoseng's way of surveilling everything, which, it puts into place everything that happened in Deja Vu and an answer. Um, By the time that answer rolls around, so in Deja Vu, he took note of the blue butterflies. He studied their appearance, created 3D rendering, kind of similar to the hologram that we see in Crazy Form with the pirate ship. But by the time answer rolls around, a 3D model had been turned fully into an animatronic, which is why the butterfly looks different than the one in Deja Vu, because it's not organic. It literally looks like a little machine. Um, ATEEZ is parked outside their van. They're using the butterfly to keep track of everything. Mingy crashes through the gate, storms inside, traps the workers with their burnt skin in side rooms, and splits into two groups. The first group is left with the Cromer since they need to transport all the imprisoned back to the Black Pirates bunker. Um, which left the others at a significant disadvantage in their fight against the Guardians. They get overpowered, and Hong Jun is left on the ground with a gun pointed straight at his head. Jung Ho is left to call for backup. Back at the hideout, however, things are also going south. A fellow pirate bursts through the doors and informs that their location had been leaked. He barely gets to finish the warning before a beam saber cuts down his back and leaves him coughing up blood before he drops dead. Wu Young's thoughts are racing um, about how their location could have gotten out before Mingy looks at Sungwa. Please tell me you didn't share the location of the bunker with the Thunder Girl. Sungwa, previously extremely sure of what the girl's loyalty lie, begins to have doubt. Meanwhile, at the disposal site, a scream rings out. The prestigious Academy boys. Excuse me. The Guardian, still aiming at Hong Jun's head, offers an ultimatum. Tell the members with the Cromer to come here. I'll give you 10 minutes or this kid. Well, you know what's going to happen. So the timer is now set. Hongju relays the information to the four members at the bunker. Unable to leave the bunker fully unprotected, the four try to fight off the android guardians before they depart, only to be struck down and left on the ground. Sunghua, Mingi, Wooyoung, and San are now down. At the same time, at the disposal site, the remaining four are dragged along the ground to the execution area. All 8 of them think about what happened to them since they entered the Z world, how much it felt like fate, and they now realize how powerful music and performance can be, how it can stir the emotions of other people. So much so that it can be used as a weapon against oppressive forces. It allowed them to feel emotions that they had forgotten about. They had been happy here, and now they might die here. But just then a zap and a guardian hit the ground. People wearing ridiculous masks, according to Wu Young, and armed with modified electroshockers fled the bunker and began to take down the Guardians before helping the 4 ATEEZ members to their feet. With their identity hidden behind their masks and voice modifiers, they promised to take everyone safe to safety, and asked the 4 to come back once they're done at the disposal site. Their leader also hands a note to Sunghua. With no other option, the 4 take off with the Cromer's help. Through the boy's brother manages to leap on them quickly enough to be taken along. They make it just in time. Um, and use the Cromer to zip across the room, disposing of the Guardian's weapons by throwing them into the incinerator. Or excuse me, but one of them, clutching the boy, is quick to raise the kid by the throat and threaten to toss him. ATEEZ gets tied up with a rope, but the boy's brother, who remained hidden nearby, manages to slide a jackknife he'd been keeping in Yunho's pocket. One by one, the knife gets handed to them as they free themselves. Meanwhile, the boy begins to talk with the guardian who dropped him back to the ground and revealed that he'd been working alongside them all along to obtain the location of the Black Pirate's bunker. When the boy first found out about his older brother's break, he fled the Prestige Academy and posted a message on Blacklink, which is a system that was left by the Left Eye. Um, and it pings the Black Pirates when a citizenship fails and they can reach out and contact them. Oh, this kid. With no one to help him, he hid out at the disposal site in hopes of finding a way to save his brother once he was dragged there by the android guardians. Still there, he received a message from his brother asking him why he couldn't come last night. Relieved, he returned home and discovered the message from the Black Pirates, who discovered a rough location of their bunker. Um, and and they offered him help if he still needed it. And they had to clear him over the security system. Although seeing the reality and experiencing the horror of the disposal site, the boy chose to return to Prestige Academy, and instead of beg for mercy for both and beg for mercy for both him and his brother, the guardians agreed and requested the exact location of the bunker in return. ATEEZ felt betrayed by the boys, saying this. And he tells his brother that, like, after experiencing emotions, he can't go back, and pushes him to leave the wrong side and rejoin the Black Pirates while there's still time to make things right. Yoseng manages to trip one of the guardians with one of his newly free legs. The head guardian grabs his brother by the collar and throws him off the execution form. Gives the boy a chance to grab the brother's hand before they can make contact, and then the guardian throws the brother down into the incinerator. The members throw off their ropes, push the head guardian into the incinerator while the boy jumps after his brother, and Mingy activates the chromer. He catches the gaze of the boy's brother as his leg slips into the incinerator, his eyes closed. Mingy grabs the boy's arm before they can share the same fate. So, newly traumatized, Mingy drops the boy off in a safe place and rejoins his members, who are actively fighting the guardians, and makes quick work of them by tossing them into the furnace. And the boy breaks down in tears. Only the head guardian was left, but unlike the others, he was suddenly tackled from the back by the boy, who was rushing at full speed. Hongju's hand shot forward, grabbing the boy's arm, who mouthed, "I'm sorry," right before the head guardian's weight dragged them over the edge and out of Hongjun's hold. Hongjun had no choice but to sit by as they disappeared into the incinerator. The distant sound of explosion. There was a distant sound of an explosion. "I know how you feel, but we need to get out of here first. The bomb's about to go off," Sunghwa reminds Hongjun. And San takes him away with the chromer. Right before the blue butterflies spread throughout the building, flash red, and explode, collapsing the disposal site. While all this was going down, the masked people who helped at the bunker were revealed to be Thunder, and the note that handed Sunghwa to revealed to be the map. By the time the disposal site went down, Thunder managed to pack all the prisoners into a big bus. Thunder's main base has a garden. I'm trying to go through this, guys. Bearing the names of two brothers of the falling black. It consists of trees and flowers bearing the names of the two brothers that all the Black Pirate members lost in battle. Dressed in black, ATEEZ, the Black Pirates and Thunder members, bow to the dead as fireflies circle over their heads. The fireflies ascend above them. This is all part of the story, by the way. Like, this is written in the diaries. Reminder that the Grimes siblings are the ones who first helped ATEEZ whenever they landed in World War Z. I'm sorry, World War Z in Z World. It's getting late, y'all. At the time, she was already recognized for her talents at the Prestige Academy and put into a position of Thunder's leader. As a skilled actress, she's managed to continue to be undetected. By using her status in the academy, she managed to prevent students from getting taken to the disposal sites. Her time there has also allowed her to carefully approach others who have awoken. And they've heard stories of the Black Pirates and ATEEZ, and as a smaller group needed more help. Her story gives Sunghwa hope, and when he voices a thought, the girl feels the same hope in the future. Lord, it's still going. It's still going.
Oh, Lord.
I'm sorry. After the raid at the Prestige Academy, the school is shut down and repurposed while the kids are transferred to other schools in the area based on their performance. Thanks to a heart rate controlling device provided by Left Eye, the girl passes the emotional detection checks and manages to excel in her studies and is deemed a superior candidate among all students. She's earned the position of Z's protocol manager, a position that will take her to Z's hideout. They take her to the city center into the underground parking lot by the Central Banks building, and from there she's guided through the corridors until they reach Z's office. Inside, he's already waiting for her and immediately addresses how close she'd been, paying attention to her surroundings the entire way there, from the car ride all the way up until now, as if she were curious. Curiosity is also an emotion. Curiosity is dangerous, you know. Ever the perfect student actress, she replies, "What is curiosity?" and offers her chip to be checked. The chip has been modified by her to switch on and off on her comment to avoid detection at school. She passes the final test and is hired on the spot. And I'm going to end it with that. There is 5 solo, I'm sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, 5 solo music videos that there have been theories of like, oh, they're not part of the thing and they are part of the thing. I had to rewatch them again. I
Mhm.
mean, I've watched them over and over again, but I need to rewatch them again with like the eye of someone who's looking for the lore. I was just watching them to enjoy it, because like
Yeah.
the Matt's is literally, oh my gosh. So Matt's is a diss song that like Hongjun and Sungwa wrote. Hongjun has like called out like Sasang's toxic fans, and like someone who like stole his I think his name is Chris stole his laptop, which had a lot of songs on it. It's You is a very spicy song, very spicy song. Literally the words go, "On my body I don't want to stop until the break of dawn," and I'm like, hello, excuse me, what? Very
Right.
spicy song. Youth is a Mingy and gosh. Yeah, it's you. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I'm not trying to sing. I'm not. But It's You is a very spicy song. Hello, can you load, please? So, Matt says Hongjung Sungwa. It's You has Yoseng Song and Woo Young or Woo Young. Youth has Yoonho and Mingy. And then everything is Jongho. Which everything, oh gosh, I watched Youth and it made me sad, and I try not to think about it, so don't ask me what the music video is about. It makes me sad. I was like, and then everything like is a very like a serenade song, and like the music video was about like Jongho um like being in a relationship, and then like the song, like he literally goes like, "You were my everything," and like she breaks up with him for some reason, right? And
Uh-huh.
and like it shows like burning of like stuff in the background and stuff. Like he's heartbroken because this girl left him, and you know, like, I'm sorry, I want to be on his side, but I'm also like, look, she wouldn't break up with you for that. What did you do? Because no one would break up with Jongho unless there was a proper reason on why. Like something happened. I want to know. And then of course there's the song Not Okay. Not Okay is actually part of like the Halazia world. Not Okay is another part of the lore. Again, like we could finish the lore later. Um Not Okay. We're still with Halazia ATEEZ. This is a word. We're learning their backstory. This is the backstory of the Black Pirates, right?
Yeah.
Which we could talk about later. Like you see San like running from people. We see like Hong Jun in the process of being brainwashed, so on and so forth, right? So this is like the Z world. This is the original Black Pirates and like how they became the Black Pirates. That's what this whole music video is about. And that's like the last post. And, let me go back. Let me go back. So, future plans. They are doing a world tour soon. I don't know exactly what date it starts. I just know that I'm going to the July show in Dallas. They have a huge international presence. They are one of the few groups to perform like literally internationally. There's a lot of K-pop groups. They get a lot of shit because they're like, oh, we're doing an international tour, and it's literally like a couple stops in Asia, a couple stops in Europe, and then like all of America. And that's what they call like an international tour. Like ATEEZ is one of them that they've gone to like South America. They've gone everywhere, really. Other future plans include a comeback. A comeback is like 2 weeks away as I'm speaking today. Whenever this gets aired, the comeback probably already happened, or it's about to happen. That's whenever, we're gonna learn more about the lore. Like I said before, there's a teaser that came out really a few days ago where they're like, oh, the golden hours are literally like the times that we spend with each other, and but like I've seen people come like be like, see, look, 18 have like worn fedoras because they dressed up as like holidays, and now that's all they see us as is people who wear fedoras. How dare you? It's funny, but you've also seen like the holidays, like the actual like the holidays fedora hanging on stuff. You've seen like the posters for like the comebacks in rows, and but again, like this could just you know can't even connect to what the actual comeback's gonna be because a lot of the times they like to throw us off on what the comebacks are gonna be of.
Yeah.
Gosh, they have their social media. They have Twitter, they have Instagram, they have YouTube, they have their own special there's a thing usually like called Cacao Talk. Well, not Cacao Talk, but like Talk Talk and stuff like that. But they have their own version of it. They have like an ATEEZ website where you could sign up and like it gives you updates on any posts that they do on like YouTube, Twitter, things like that. It keeps you really, really updated on what's happening within ATEEZ as well as like what their schedule's like. There's also multiple ATEEZ who, they have live translations of what's happening on their lives, as well as like they keep you updated as well on what their schedule is like for the upcoming events and everything like that. You know, gosh, there's so much information, right? And again, like if you are an 18, you have all this information and you would like to share it, you could post it in the comments. You could also like share links of like other like great YouTube creators that, oh gosh, here. I actually have one that I wanted to look at. So this if you want like a really really deep explanation on ATEEZ lore, there is um there is a YouTube channel called Eternities. That's actually really good. Eternities. It has a complete guide to ATEEZ's storyline. It and there's a playlist that is called ATEEZ Lore in Order. So it literally goes in like chronological order of like what the story is, not necessarily like when the music videos come out. Cause like I've seen like songs that came out 2 years after songs that have come out, of other ones. Um, Gosh, there's also Eternities also posted one about 4 months ago that is ATEEZ's storyline Fever era to the World era, and it's all the diary entries. So like you want like deeper detail about like what the story actually is and to understand it, cuz like I'm still learning about it myself, right? Like I've read up on different theories. I've had theories of my own that I have shared with my mom, cuz my mom is an A-teenie, and my sister-in-law who is a new A-teenie herself. Um and all kinds of stuff. And as well as shout out to my bestie Chris. She is also an A-teenie, but I met her at a Monsta X concert. You know, they they um is a huge Shine Star as well. And you know, me and Chris have our own theories, and we've, you know, thought about like what's happening and talk about it a lot too. So again, if you're new to being a fan of ATEEZ, like don't be afraid to reach out. Like 18 or not, we're 18 aren't scary. Um, and I know it's a lot, but it's fun. Like I feel like ATEEZ brings a lot of fun into K-pop again. Um, even the stages that they've done like for Coachella, right? Like I think Outlaw. I think Outlaw's one, or Django. Like you see them in the saloon, in the bar, like the Hot Chili Pepper bar, like partying and shit. So like again, their stages have are part of the story.
Yeah.
So, but is there any like kind of questions that you want me to answer right now?
Um,
I know it's a lot. It is a lot.
Nothing for me really. Just it's deep lore.
And I mean, that's one thing that you're a fan of is lore.
Oh no, most definitely. I like hearing about all this. It's quite interesting.
It
You're like, what
is.
the fuck?
Oh yeah, it is. Like whenever I first got like again, like I would watch these music videos and be like, "Oh, I as a baby teeny, I was like, what the fuck's going on?" And then I would like see all these like theories, and then I would bring up theories of my own, and then like every time like there was some kind of like hint at seeing like the Black Pirates, I was like, "Oh, this music video is part of the lore." Ooh, and then I would just like study it. I would study it and study the story and like try and figure out what's happening and stuff like that. Like this shit reels you in. What about you, Bunyip? Do you have any questions about anything? I know it's a lot.
It's way too much to process at this time.
I
Yeah,
know.
I don't really
Oh,
have any questions right now.
oh yeah. No, I know. Like this is lore that has been building for years. It's all lore that's been building for years. Again, though, like I can give you links to like videos and like the website that I was on, and the Tumblr post that I was referencing. So again, shout out to atstoryline.com. Like they have a lot of general facts about ATEEZ, as well as like the diaries posted, the blogs, things like that. atene.net/storyline. They have up until I believe it was Answer. Answer was a music video that had the like ATEEZ meeting um the Black Pirates face to face, and Tumblr user ATEENY for life. I'm gonna follow you. I'm gonna follow you. Oh, I'm not logged in. I'm gonna follow you. There we go. I'm a, they word for word everything for all the music videos. They have a master post. They have a master post that like they uploaded regularly, as well as like they also have storylines for other K-pop groups that they're interested in, including the Zygers, which again are the uh the underlings, for lack of a better term, because I can't remember at the moment, for ATEEZ.
Yeah, please do send me all those links. 'Cause I'll put those links in the description.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Links
There
to
is a
those,
site.
any videos or video essays, stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's a playlist of like the music videos that I'll link. There. The side note though, because they do have Japanese releases. The Japanese releases aren't really part of the storyline. They're kind of self-contained, and then there was the music video "Don't Stop," which was left out of the storyline. Being in line with like all of the ATEEZ universe. Um, Now Clap Entertainment content, which is separate from ATEEZ's regular main storyline. But yeah, I will send all the links and make sure that they are that they are posted. Um,
Yeah,
a-
they'll be posted on the in the description when the episode goes up this Saturday.
of course. 18 don't be afraid to say hi. Shout out to y'all. Like you guys are fantastic. I enjoy being in the fandom. And like tell me who your favorite member is. Who's your bias? Are you going to a concert? Are you going to one of the concerts? What stop are you going to? Is anybody going to the Dallas concert? Let me know. I'll come and say hi to y'all. Me, my mom, and my sister-in-law are gonna be there. So, but yeah,
Yes.
I know it's a lot though. It's a lot, y'all. It's a lot. But yeah,
Well,
that is my
that's your Roman Empire.
that's my Roman Empire. I think about it daily.
Well, on that note, ladies and gentlemen and others out there, links to all those stuff will be in the description below so you can do your own little deep dive into ATEEZ and the universe they have created with their music and music videos. So thank you all for listening to today's episode. Catch us next time as we step into Pride Month. Until then, bye.
Ah.
Goodbye.